Mr. Ringmaster. Now you might be wondering why I, seamstress to our circuit stars, is standing here with just one skein of silk instead of the three what was promised for stitching new leotards. As you know, when our last fire breather's costume went up in smoke, I said to myself, no need to unduly burden the quartermaster with acquiring more material for a costume when you've a sharp pair of shears and the use of a mule. And so I set out to procure silk from the cave of the mammoth spider, an arachnid what, as the name implies, is as massive as an elephant and twice as hairy. As you might know, smaller household spiders make their homes at the back of cupboards, in darkened privies, and inside well-loved pairs of closed-toed shoes. Perhaps owing to the fact what such places aren't often found to scale to accommodate a mammoth spider's size, they instead make their homes in giant holes in the sides of cliffs, scaling the rocky cliff face at night to hunt their prey. 'Twas me plan to wait till nightfall, hidden out of sight where I might observe the spider's departure, then rappel down to the mouth of her cave, using one of them endless multicolored scarves our clowns keep up their sleeves. I'd cut down a large section of her webbing with me tailor's shears and collect 3 skeins of silk before deftly shimmying back up me scarf rope with her none the wiser. The first thing what failed was me donkey Petunia refusing to do more and disconsolately plod toward our destination, resulting in our arrival several hours after sundown. I assumed I'd missed a spider's evening exit and hurried down to make up for time lost to mulishness. Unfortunately, no sooner had I planted me feet at the mouth of the cave, where I brought face to mandibles with the spider whose home I'd come to plunder. I briefly considered a bit of diplomatic manoeuvring, thinking I might claim some other purpose for me visit, such as tax collecting or political campaigning. But I was given the lie by the pair of shears fastened to me belt and the skeins I'd brought for collecting the silk. By the way the spider's many-faceted eye narrowed at me implements, 'twas clear she knew well what I meant to be about. And by the way she attempted to separate me head from me shoulders, 'twas clear she disapproved. Without fair warning, she lunged to attack. I ducked me head and found her mandibles tangled in me hair. She tried to shake me loose. My top half went to, and my bottom half went fro, until I thought I would surely break in two. She swatted at me with one hairy leg, tearing at the straps of me knapsack and making frantic "ee" noises. She flung her head upward, and I felt the straps of my bag give way, its contents exploding as I suddenly found myself hurtling up and over. I come to a stop wrong side up in a dense bit of webbing what stretched floor to ceiling. From me unfortunate vantage point, I saw her turn towards me. She chirruped in triumph and started to charge, when first one leg, then two, then three spun out from beneath her, sending her toppling to the ground. In the scant moonlight, I could make out dozens and dozens of brightly coloured bobbins what had spilled from me ruined sewing bag, making for precarious footing and thwarting her advance. Wasting no time, I used me one free hand to pull the shears from me belt, sawing at the sticky webs what had entrapped me legs and other hand. Meanwhile, the spider was making slow but increasingly angry progress towards me, stumbling and falling with every step. I finally managed to free one of the skeins from where they were strapped to me back, and by wrapping one end with an especially globby bit of webbing, created a sticky stick, what I used to pull most of the webbing from me clothes. I gave brief thought what such a device would be ideal for removing hair from our lion tamer's costume, and distracted by my brilliance, I only just managed to fling myself away from the spider's fangs. I scrambled towards the exit as the spider screamed her fury, recognizing the field of bobbins what she would need cross once more. I leapt onto my scarf rope and clambered back up as fast as I dared, finding Petunia straining against the rope with which I'd tied her, clearly afeard of the ruckus from below. Faster than a mouse in a lion's mouth, I climbed onto her back and cut the rope free, letting her have her head, as she and I were just then of like mind and getting as far from that place as possible. So you see, Mr. Ringmaster, 'tis why I return with just a one skein and not the three what was promised. But no worries. I hear tell of an oversized snake whose supple skin would make for a suitable supplement. Mr. Chief Judge,